Hello, everyone. I all hope you had a very beautiful long holiday and a very great one at least. Today we're here to talk about the history of the Order of the Five. The Order of the Five is a different secret society of supervillains formed by four powerful villains known as Shadowmaster, Goddess of Life, Dark Light, Shadow Fox. These four supervillains formed the Order of the Five when a little magic was in power many centuries ago in the ancient centuries. They formed the Order of the Five when the Lolo Magic was in power. In doing so, they created a system and a network of operatives in order for them to communicate and work with, in order to create a conspiracy, in order to controlling humanity and also deciding humanity's fate, in order to wiping out. For following centuries, while the Lolo Magic remained in power, these four supervillains decided to decide the fate of humanity by fighting against the four nation hunters and the five nation hunters and the six nation hunters and the seven nation hunters and the alliance, and also the universal men and universal women, who are the most formidable heroes before the time of the universal heroes and the time of the newly alliance and the reformation of the universal heroes in the intergalactic coalition. At that time, the members of the Order of the Five clashed with some of the Phoenician hunters and discovered that these formidable adversaries were very quietly, and their abilities are not to be underestimated. Despite this, they wanted to wipe them out and they wanted to destroy them completely. The Goddess of Life discovered that these formidable foes and heroes working together is a sign that a greater destiny of new heroes is about to emerge from these old formidable heroes. Darklight agreed with the Goddess of Life, and they decided that it's time that they disappear. The Shadow Master apparently also agreed, as well as Shadow Fox. Together, they decided to disappear for following centuries, and they quietly vanished. While the Lolo Magic was still remaining in power in the 20th century, the Goddess of Life and Shadow Fox and Dark Light and Shadow Master, the four supervillains, decided to extend an invitation to other villains known as a Dark Druid, Faithful, Ray Darkest, Vandal Darkest, Vandal Darkest, Vandal Darkest, Notin Knight, Notin Michael Max Knight, Notin Michael Max Knight, Notin Michael Max Knight, Dark Ren, Ghost Boy, No Face, No Face, No Face, No Face, No Face, and the Notin Knight, and also the Witch Girl, Dark Witch Girl, and also Dark Witch Girl. Ten of these members participated in joining forces with the members of the Order of the Five and decided to become the members of the Order of the Five. Within the 20th century, they created a network of operatives working together with another ancient society of assassins known as the Notan Empire. They are working on the behalf of the Order of the Five in order to controlling vast territories of the world and vast territories of cities and planets and other city states. While the Order of Magic still remain in power in the 20th century, the invitation has been extended on in order for all the other villains to work together to extend their beliefs and their mission and their higher cosmic mission and their beliefs in deciding the fate of humanity and also wiping out the Phoenician hunters and the Alliance and any superhero who dare comes across would come across and oppose their mission and also the objective in controlling and conquering all the other worlds and all the other civilizations. Over the following years, while the Lorna Magic remained in power, Dark Light and Dark Ren decided to reform a new society of Dark Druids and Dark Witches, with the Dark Druid and Dark Faithful at their disposal, and who have become particularly members. They decided to work together and form a society of dark druids and dark witches and dark faithful in order for them to become the primary operatives and working with them exactly in order to tighten their grip on the other worlds and the other civilizations that the Alliance and the Phoenician hunters have managed to liberate. In doing so, they clashed with the Phoenician hunters. Two sides quietly suffered enormous amounts of casual losses. Both sides weren't eager to easily survive. They were very quietly fascinated with the losses, but both sides were eagerly lost enormous amounts of casual losses on both sides. Even in this point, Dark Light and Shadow Master reviewed that they should not underestimate the Four Nation Hunters or their ability. Within the following years after the death of the Little Magic, the Order of the Five reconvened and discuss the opportunities in seizing control and power and deciding the fate of the humanity, since they clash with the new alliance and the new universal heroes, in order to learn that they should not be underestimated. Darklight decided it's best that they hire the new operative known as a supervillain known as Mayor Bear, in order to publicly disgrace the heroes and seizing control of Thunderworld and other civilization and other worlds at his disposal. His mission was quietly clear: to take control of other worlds and other planets in the behalf of the Order of the Five, but he miserably failed when the Universal Thunder Heroes neutralized his plan and able to disarm his mission and also his conquest for doing so. The Universal Heroes aided and abetted in stopping the conquest of Mayor Bear and also setting and beating a back of the Order of the Five, which terribly exactly led to a terrible catastrophe in doing so within the Sacred Public. But the Order of the Five wasn't disappointed with the loss, which they reconvened in 3 weeks and decided it's time that they take a step back and fall back. While the Northern Knight was devastated over the losses of all the controls of all the other worlds falling to Shadow Empire control, he decided it's best that they have a new strategy in forming a new alliance with another villain who can become the personal enforcer of the organization and also over the society, which is Metal Face. He will exactly take the lead. Darklight and Shadow Master and Witch Girl and also Shadow Fox and Dark Druid and also Faithful and all the other members practically agreed that the enforcer should be Metal Face, which he also quietly agreed. In doing so, the enforcer of the organization has been made, known as Metal Face. Metal Face seized control of other numerous worlds by clashing with the Intergalactic Coalition and any other members of the Society of Heroes. In doing so, he was able to report back to the Order of the Five, saying that the heroes have rendered all the other worlds and controlled all the other civilizations under his control, reclaimed all the other worlds and all the other civilizations under their control, and have liberated massive worlds and massive universes from the Shadow Empire's control. The Order of the Five wasn't disappointed. In fact, it was quietly pleased with the results, that it's time that they decide the fate of humanity. Shadow Master fought with the Formation Hunters in order to seize control of a powerful sacred weapon, of a vibration weapon that could easily that would easily create a sonic replication that could easily vaporize the eardrums and earwax at a very, very, very high distance, that could easily destroy them. In doing so, he successfully gathered the weapon and decided that the weapon will become a backup plan and a very restored plan in case things don't exactly fall accordingly to plan. By doing so exactly, Shadow Fox agreed that the heroes have underestimated them too much. The Intergalactic Coalition has to be neutralized. They decided it's time that they form an alliance with the Shadow Empire warlords in order to exactly seize control of numerous worlds and numerous civilizations, which they did. The Intergalactic Coalition and Shadow Empire warlords clashed and fought for some time, and they kept on fighting. Two sides lost major casualties. Both sides were extremely losses. Worlds were saved, other worlds were liberated. Some were led back to the control of the Order of the Five, and others were led back to the control of the Sacred Circle, and others some falling to the Secret Society of other supervillains. The Order of the Five wasn't quietly disappointed, was very quietly pleased with the results, and they were quietly happy. After the Universal Heroes saved Thunderworld from Mayor Bear and his villainous schemes and all his schemes, Mayor Bear reported back to the Council of the Five and told them that the plan, that in order for him to take his home world and his home planet, has been thwarted. The Order of the Five was very disappointed in doing so. The Goddess of Life exactly suggests that he takes a step back and exactly hold back the plan of reconquering his home world when there's a new strategy in place in order to reclaim the other worlds and all the other civilizations, which it quietly worked as planned. Thunder Hero Eric's younger brother, known as Thunder Hero Boy, managed to kill Mayor Bear on Sacred Live television, in doing so able to subpoena the throne and seize control of the throne. The Order of the Five was very quietly happy and very quietly pleased with the results. They were exactly saying that the entire sacred universe is happy to know that the rest of the heroes of the Universal Thunder Heroes have managed to successfully liberated the entire world and the entire civilization from a villainous villain known as Mayor Bear, and that they were able to exactly revive him and resurrect him, which they perfectly did. He came back to life after short months, and they resurrected him using dark magic with the help of the dark druids, and Witch Girl was able to combine her power and her dark magic power in order to resurrect him and bring him back to life, which he came back 10 times powerful and more stronger and more thirsty for power and more hungry for power. Darklight decided it's best to use Mare Bear's thirst for power and hunger for power in order to seize control of vast worlds and of vast civilizations, which it exactly worked and which it exactly turned out to work. And I was very quietly pleased with the results and all of the other work. After the outcome of the battles from two sides and other hold off a minute. Yes.